Hello everyone. So let us now start with the introductory lesson as well as the some of the subtopics that are given in the first theme of the book, Standard 12th book. The first theme is Bricks, Beats and Bones, the Harappan Civilization. Now I have already done the basics in the Standard 6th course, if you remember, and I'm assuming that you're watching this course after doing that one, because most of the things that are given there I'll not be covering here. But if that's given in the text of the book, and if it's repeated in both standard 6 and 12, then I'll do, because I am doing it like theme wise also and book wise also, so that either way if you study it will be helpful for you. But I'm not going to use much of the images here, like to show you what do you mean by great bath, or what kind of drains were there, or bricks were used, or terracotta figurines, or other seals or other stuffs. So those images I have already shown there. I'll just use one map here because this map was different in standard 12th book, I mean not given in standard 6. So this was important to show you. Otherwise only the focus here is on the text given in the standard 12th book. So this course is presented by me, Arpita Prakash, and you can rate, review, recommend and share and follow me here on Unacademy. Moving on to the first introduction of the theme of this particular lesson. Okay, now what they say in the introduction is that the most distinctive artifact of the Harappan civilization is the Harappan seal, right? So you have to remember the most distinctive, different kind of artifact. Artifacts are the remains that are found from the sites, right? Okay, then this seals were made from one kind of stone that was known as statite, and from this the seals were made. They often contain animal motifs and signs from a script that remains undeciphered. So what two things you have to remember here, that mostly the seals were containing the animal motifs. If you remember in the picture we have already seen in the previous course, and also some script was mentioned on that seal, but that script is still not deciphered. Decipherment means able to read or write what is written. So the text we can found from the Indus Valley civilization sites or the Harappan sites, but we do not know what is written, we do not understand that. Then the archaeological evidences like houses, pots, ornaments, tools, seals, etc., along with other remains, these archaeological evidences or these artifacts, you can say, help us to know about the people and their lives. Then these are some of the important points given in the introduction or the first paragraph of the chapter. So there must not need not be any linkage, they are just the important points. So objective questions might figure out from here. Then the Indus Valley civilization is also called the Harappan culture. Now first of all you have to remember that we are talking about the civilization which is called Harappan civilization because Harappa was the first site to be discovered, and all the other nearby sites which were having similar objects or similar artifacts were found, or archaeological evidence were found. So those areas were known as the Harappan civilization. Harappa was one site and the nearby sites having similar kind of thing known as Harappan civilization. Now that particular site is also known as Indus Valley civilization because of the river Indus and the tributary. So it's based in the nearby areas. This is just in layman language I'm telling, just for general studies purpose. For history option students you have a complete different debate about why Harappan civilization was named like this and what the other name Indus Valley and all that. So you don't need to go into that detail. But then this civilization is also called the Harappan culture. Now, why they are using the word culture? They use the word culture to show a group of distinctive style objects, because in that particular site, or not that particular site but in that particular area, all the sites that were found in those areas, from there they have discovered, the archaeologists have discovered group of distinctive style objects which were usually found together within a specific geographical area and period of time. So they have combined all those stuff and named it as a culture found in a particular area at a particular point of time, some special objects or distinct objects. Then some of the examples of the distinctive objects found in Harappan culture include seals, beads, weights, stone blades, baked bits, etc. Then they were found from areas as far apart as Afghanistan, Jammu, Baluchistan, which is in present day Pakistan, and Gujarat. So these are some of the rough areas. So this is to make you understand that in the present existing Afghanistan area, Pakistan area, and some parts of Indian subcontinent. I mean India, the present India. We have the evidences of these sites or civilization. Harappa was the first site where this unique culture was discovered, and hence the name Harappan Civilization. Now, the civilization is dated between circa 2600 to 1900 BCE. Now, if you remember, I've told you in the previous course, BCE is, you have to write in the comment section, right? And this C, the small c, is circa, that means approximate, and BCE is also used instead of BC. So these two terminologies, or you can say abbreviations, please write in the comment section. Then there's also existed earlier culture before, like whatever Harappa we study, we consider it as mature Harappan civilization. So archaeologists say that before this civilization, whatever we study, before that also existed an earlier civilization, or earlier not civilization but culture. In the same civilization, kind of different culture, different objects, or different types of things found, so like that. So the earlier culture was known as early Harappan culture, and then the later culture was also known as later Harappan culture. But mainly when we study about the Harappan civilization, we talk of mature Harappan culture, not the early, not the later, mainly mature Harappan culture. And so that we use this Harappan civilization so that we distinguish it from the other early or later culture. They might be found in kind of approximate areas, or some of the things might be common, but totally a distinctive culture or distinctive object in that particular area were found in this civilization. You just have to, don't get confused, you just have to remember about that we are studying about the mature Harappan culture, right, or the civilization. So this is the map I was talking about. So they have given map 1 some important mature Harappan sites, right, not early, not later, mature Harappan sites. So these are many of the sites, like you can see here: Rakhi Gadi, Banavali, Kalibangan, this is Ganveriwala, then here this is Harappa, then here Mohenjo-daro, there's Balakot, Chanudaro, Kodiji, Dholavira, etc., Lothal, etc. So this is like the present boundary, you can say, see here. Then this is another area, but then that time Pakistan, Afghanistan, and India all were like just one continent, subcontinent. So they have given this boundary just to help you understand the present scenario. But then these are the important sites, these are the rivers, Indus, and then the tributaries. So what you have to do again is to know the name of the site and the state or the province where they are located, whether they are in present day India or Pakistan. If in India, then which of the state, if in Pakistan, which of the province. So like that, you just need to know on your own. I do everything here, that's your work. But then from here, the name of the sites, you can take them down. Okay, the first subunit says beginnings. So now here we are talking about the beginning of the Harappan civilization. So what they say, that even prior to the mature Harappan culture, I told you, remember, we are talking about the mature Harappan culture. So even prior to that, there existed several archaeological cultures which had distinctive pottery. Then some evidences of agriculture and pastoralism was also found. Some crafts were found, some settlements were found, small settlements, but no large buildings were found. Now, in the break, that is, first of all, there was early Harappan, and then the Harappan civilization or the mature Harappan. So, in the break between these two, there is large scale burning evidences from some sites. So, when archaeologists study these sites, they also study about the time, when this site have been, or like when there was habitation here, or when people were living here, when were they making. So like carbon dating is one of the methods. Then there are many other methods to studying mounds, if you remember, we did it in previous course. So there are like carbon dating is mainly about to study about the fossil fuels, but then even people use different methodology to study these evidences. So between them, there are evidences found of some burning of from some sites, and it says that there was also abandonment of certain settlements between early Harappan or the Harappan civilization or the mature phase. Then the second subtopic says subsistence strategies. This means that how did people actually survive in those time, those period? What was the method of subsistence or the mode of subsistence? So what strategies did they use. So first of all, we'll have to see, obviously for subsistence, what is mainly important is what you eat, on what you survive, on what you depend on. So that's about the dietary practices. So they ate wide range of plants and animals product, including fish. Now in the plants, when we talk about some, how do we actually get to know that they ate some plant or animal products? How do archaeologists get to know? Because some finds are there, like some archaeological evidences, finds of charred grains and seeds. Now grains of these things: wheat, barley, lentil, chickpea, sesame, millets. In Gujarat it was found. Then rarely rice was also found. Then in seeds, these grains and seeds, the finds or the remains of these grains and seeds are studied by archaeobotanists. Now who are archaeobotanists? Who are specialist in ancient plant remains. Archeo is mainly old, right? So ancient. And then botanist starting about the plant remains here. Then how do we know that animal products were also there and people ate them? So some remains of like animal bones are found, which are studied by archaeologist or zoo archaeologist. So they are talking about plant remains here, and they'll be studying about the animal remains here. So in the bones, some bones of animals like cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo, pig. So these animals were domesticated, and then these animals, they were either hunted by themselves, the Harappans themselves, or meat was obtained from other hunting communities. But then bones were found of these particular animals, both domestic and wild. Then one important another topic in the subsistence strategy is agriculture technology. So how did agriculture actually happen? So we have already done in the previous course also that since this area is kindly like kind of arid area, dry area, so mostly irrigation was followed. But then let us see what are the other points given. There are some representation on seals as well as terracotta sculpture which depicts or indicates that bull was known. So from here in this book, this is the method they have followed. They will tell you that what are the finds from the sites, what are the evidences that archaeologists have got from the sites, and based on that they have drawn some conclusion. So based on these representations, they understand that bull was known, and they say that oxen might have been used for ploughing. Then terracotta models of the plough was also found, and it was found in Cholistan and Banavali. So these are the areas where like they are located. Your work is to look at this map again and find where are the places located. At least those are given, those places which are given you can find from here, otherwise you can Google them also. Then evidence of a plot feet was also found in Kalibangan, which is in present-day Rajasthan, and they are also associated with early Harappan levels. Then two sets of furrows at right angles to each other, so right angle is this, right, are also found, which indicates that two different crops were grown together. Because if they would have grown in just one furrow, so there would have been problem, one crop might require some other circumstances, or like different amount of water or soil, so there must be some kind of hindrance for the other crop. So they do not do it in one furrow but two furrow at right angle, so that there is no interference or no disturbance between them, and that is why it suggests that two different crops were grown together. Then some most Harappan sites were semi-arid lands, therefore agriculture must have helped in agriculture. This is irrigation must have helped in agriculture. This is what I told you right now. Then some traces, and how do we also know about this irrigation thing? Some traces of canals have been found from these areas. This you can read on your own. Then water was also drawn from wells, so this also helped in irrigation because wells were found. Then some water reservoirs, the remains of these are also found, and they were used to store water for agriculture. So this is how agriculture happened in the Harappan civilization, and these are the things, the plant or the animal remains, which tells us that people ate this during that period. So this was all for the first two subtopics. We'll do the other ones in the next lessons. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.